This conference will now be recorded.
Hello everyone, my name is Donnie, and what I'd like to do is go over the Cisco 8841, just kind of top to bottom over all the buttons. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and rotate this camera here down, and let's go over this Cisco 8841. You'll notice here the phone is idle, and that means it's just sitting there. If you want to see the back screen, you can simply press the back button here, and it'll actually pull up the screen. You'll notice up here at the top left, we have a direct inward dial number that's duplicated. And the reason it's duplicated is it's kind of like a glorified call waiting, if you will. So if you're on this top line and you wanted to be able to get another call coming in, it could ring on the second one. And or if you needed to put that first one on hold and then grab the second one, right? So that's why that's duplicated. That is your direct inward dial number. That way people can call you from outside directly and not have to call in through the main number. You can hand that out to friends and family. But what we're going to do now is just go over these 4 soft keys. These 2 buttons over here to the right, these are what we just call speed dials. I added them in a previous training. So on this one, if you didn't want them, just to kind of show you any of these available buttons, you can actually push and hold 3 to 5 seconds. It'll pop up another screen. And then you can even select, so let's say we're just one second down on that, so that way that takes that off of there. You'll notice now that line has disappeared down below. But let's go ahead and go over these soft keys. This phone is in what we call a call center, and that's why you see the agent sign in. I'm not really going to go into depth about that, but that's why that button's there. Redial, what that does, it does pull up a list of the last 20 calls that you have placed. So if you wanted to, you could, scroll down and say, hey, let's call this 1-800-444 number again. So you can go like that, and notice that it places it for you. It does put it over the speaker. So that's what your redial is. Contacts, and here we'll just speak to the personal address book. The personal address book, it allows you to add up to 500 contacts. It does alphabetize them, but it is a little painful. It's like we got our old school flip phone back from the late 80s, early 90s. I don't know if you guys remember that. Some of you might not be old enough, but it reminds me of that T9 texting. So to get to C, I have to hit this number 2, 3 times to get to C. Yeah, lots of fun, right? Well, there is an easier way. As people call you, there is something in the settings, which we'll just jump over here to the settings. And when we press that, you'll notice that option 2 for recent. So if we scroll down to that and select, you can come in here and see your missed calls, received calls. For this instance, I'm just going to go to the received. And you'll notice that we have a listen here, right? So if somebody called us and it's however they're published, so if it was published Weiler's caller, then you could actually say, hey, I want to put this in my phone book. You can say option and then scroll down to add contact. And then you'll notice it pre-populates into your address book. And then you would just follow that with the save. But for the sake of this, I'm just going to back out of this. That's a quick one about your contacts. Next to the contacts, this 3 little dots just means that you have more options on the next page. So we'll cycle that. You'll notice now on the second page, we have forward, do not disturb, and call return. Forward just allows us to take our phone number and forward it to wherever we want. So you'll notice it breaks down here. And then we can just put in a number here. I'm just going to put in a number until it beeps at us. Yep, so we call forward to the phone now, and you'll notice I have a little arrow bouncing away from us, indicating that we have called forward to our desk phone. This says to me in office, hey, wait a second, I got this forwarding to this other number, which is right up here at the top underneath my name. And anytime somebody transfers or tries to call my direct number, it's going to forward them to that number that I placed in there. To take it off of that, so let's say I come back into the office and I don't need it to be forwarded anymore, you're going to follow the same steps, more, and then now you'll notice we have clear forward. Once you press that, it goes back to your home page, and now your phone symbol has changed. Let's go ahead and go more again. Do not disturb just places your phone on do not disturb. Exactly that, right? So it means let's go into a meeting. If somebody calls me, it's just going to push them right into my voicemail box. Turn it off, same steps, clear D&D. Last on that second page is call return. I will tell you that button does exactly that. It's going to call whoever just called you. So it's instant. It would pick up over the speaker and call them. On the third page, we're not going to go over these 3 buttons here, but we'll just go on down the phone here. So if we come over here, this little red button, that's just to hang up the phone. Little pause symbol, that is your hold. Little person with the arrow, this is what we call our warm or consultative transfer. It just allows us to place the first caller on hold and call somebody else, announce who they are, and then send them on through. 3 little people here, this is to set up a conference. It's not what we consider a true conference bridge. It's more of a like merge on your cell phone. I don't know if you've added anybody on your cell phone before. This will place that first caller on hold, allow you to dial the other number, then complete it by pressing this again, and then all 3 callers are on that call. And you can wash, rinse, and repeat and do that over up to 15 times. You'll notice this, we have a little headset symbol. This is to activate the port on the back of the phone. So if you have an older headset and you just need to make it where it works, you can press that, activates the port on the back, and then you are live over your headset. We alluded to this earlier. This is for speaker. Little mic with a line through it, that's your mute. I will tell you going forward, these mics on these phones, if you were old school like me and you used to just cut the mic, you're not going to want to do that going forward. They are ridiculous. So you're going to want to put them on hold or mute, so that way they can't hear your sidebar conversation. Little minus and plus signs, just volume up and down your receiver, your speaker, and also your ringer. So as it's idle here, you'll notice you can volume it up and down, right? Or you can volume up and down your speaker or the handset. They are all 3 separate. We went into settings, and that's probably all that we'll jump into for settings. Little book here, that's your directory, same as the contact. So you'll notice if I push that, it's just going to take me into that same area. And then last but not least, this little cassette symbol is for your voicemail. To check your voicemail or how you know you have a voicemail, this little cassette symbol will be right next to your phone number here. So it'll change that little cassette. And then behind your handset itself, there is an actual light on there. To check your voicemail, you're just going to simply press that and then put in your pin that you had set earlier. That is everything on the buttons. Thank you for your time.